Hello and welcome back to our podcast. My name is Dr. Alison Chiwara. I'm the CEO and founder of Human Focus Limited, a company that is truly dedicated to creating happier and healthier workforces, workplaces, communities, and really thriving societies. Thank you once again for joining me on this podcast and returning as we do weekly. Today I want to talk about something that is perhaps taboo. We've thought of speaking about it, but many of us really don't want to talk about it. Money and you. You see, there's a line we've all had, maybe even preached ourselves. Money is the root of all evil, we say. But tonight, I want to stir your thinking. What if we've been misled all along? What if the truth in it all is that money is not the root of evil, but the mirror of the values? Let me walk with you through the words of Ayn Rand. Words that bite, stir, and dare us to actually reflect on what it is that we so easily demonize. So you think that the money is the root of all evil? That's not a question. That's a scalpel. Because Ayn Rand doesn't stop there. She says, when you accept money in the payment of your efforts, you do so only on the conviction that you will exchange it for the product of the efforts of others. And I pause here because it's easy to hate what we don't understand, right? Like myself, have been taught to carry guilt like a clock, to serve without ever charging, to give without ever expecting, and to lead without ever receiving. And to equate our humility with poverty and service with self-erasure. Now, I do want to look at this and really look at it carefully. We confuse being a good person with being a poor one. I hope you understand this, and I hope I'm speaking truth to someone. We confuse service with a little bit of suffering. But let me say this gently, firmly, and truthfully. You see your worth. Your worth is not measured by how little you ask for. Yes, your impact is not even defined either by the ability to kind of endure lack and suffer through it. There is no nobility. There is no humbleness in starvation, in financial, spiritual deprivation. Asking for your worth does not make you greedy at all. And yet I hear people, somebody's being greedy, but actually they come in with the expertise. Even if they were charity, give them their dues. Asking for your worth makes you grounded. It grounds you. Asking for your rate is not ignorance, it's stewardship. You are leading by example. And here's something we rarely say aloud. And I say this carefully. Money is energy. It carries the charge of intention, the direction of your desire, of your dreams, and the signature of the soul that moves with it. Okay, so this is where the difference is. You see, money moves like breath. It flows where attention goes, where you direct it. And when it's created in honor and in truth, it circulates not just as cash, but with conscience. It's not just the paper. It becomes permission. Permission to build. Permission for you to give even more. To live on your own terms. But like all forms of energy, money amplifies, right? For example, if you're generous, it magnifies what you're able to do. Imagine Richard Branson. If he didn't have the money that he had today, would he be able to do all that he's doing? Imagine Bill Gates. If he didn't have the world that he's amassed, would he be able to generously do what he does? You see, if you're wise, it multiplies your impact. If you're corrupt, it does the opposite. It deepens your deceit. Okay, so money amplifies. Are you with me? If you're generous, you give more. If you're wise, you have more impact. And if you're corrupt, you just continue to be worse at it. So this is why money in the wrong hands becomes incredibly dangerous. Not because it's evil in itself, no, but because it will fill whatever already burns inside the wrongdoer. A fool with a fortune is a wildfire, right? A wise man with wealth that he may have will be like a lighthouse. Money is made, so before it can be looted or even mooched, it has to be made by the effort of every honest man, every honest woman, each to the extent of their abilities. You see, money isn't magic. It is made. You make money. You think money into being. You craft that through your efforts, your visions, your dreams, and sometimes you're sacrificing the little that you have so that you can deepen and do things better. It does not drop from the sky. It rises from the sweat of the mind. But I want us to go a little deeper on this. You see, money isn't magic, but your mind is. Your brain is the architect of value. The way you think about money determines how it shows up in your life. Not just how much you have, but how safe, free, and ashamed you feel in its presence, okay? Some of us have been programmed, especially from Africa, with invisible chains, belief system passed down like heirlooms. Money doesn't grow on trees. Oh, yes, it doesn't. We are not like them. That's true. People like us don't ask for more. Really? And slowly, we start to shrink our desires to match our fears, okay? We reject abundance not because it's wrong, but because we were taught it wasn't for us. Now that's scarcity. That's internalized poverty, and I refuse to be part of that. And I have been training myself, like, how do I come out of this? That's your nervous system learning that too much safety, too much success, too much pleasure feels unfamiliar and even unsafe. You see, the brain wires itself to survive and not to thrive. That's the first thing we must learn. So evil anyway, but a channel through which you could serve more meaningfully, with more impact and more truthfully and more freely. What if money is not even the monster, but the actual magnifier? Remember, we said money amplifies, okay? Because in a different light, money becomes a blessing. We say that, don't we? A tool for good, right? A bridge between your dreams, your purpose, alignment, and possibility. So then I ask again, is money really evil? Or our beliefs about it are the ones that are actually outdated and we need to recondition and reconfigure? See, Rand writes in her book, have you ever looked for the root of production? Try to grow a seed of wheat without knowing the knowledge left to you by the man who had to discover it from the first time. Let that sink in. In fact, let me say this. She said, have you ever looked for the root of production? Try to grow a seed of wheat without the knowledge left to you by the man who had to discover it for the first time. Do you see how that becomes difficult? Even the simplest things in life, the bread we eat from wheat, the light in our homes, are all drawn in brilliance. So the root of money is not greed, it's the mind. It's what you can conceive, what you can produce, what you can give birth to. And yet, we let the lazy philosophy of envy rob us sometimes. We shun the maker, we praise the looter, and we call it fairness. Absolutely not. We watch brilliant women, too scared to ask for the payments of the invoices. We watch change makers, black entrepreneurs sometimes second guess their worth. I speak for myself. We witness teachers, healers, visionaries asking just enough to get by, to have the charity run, instead of what? That price is often money. To trade by means of money is the code of the man of goodwill. Money permits no deals except those to mutual benefit, but the unforced judgment of the traders. Rand continues to say. Now let's pause with this. What a radical idea, right? Crazy. That trade should be mutual, fair, free from cohesion. That money, in its highest moral, demands value for value. But we again live in a world. Be persistent, I say. Rand even goes on to say that money is only a tool. It will take you where you wish, but it will not replace you as the driver. And this right here, I think, is the pivot. Money will not make you wise. Money will not make you or give you the vision. Money will never hand you meaning, because if you have designed it to replace you, it will only reflect you. And what of those who inherit it without character? Well, those who win it by fraud or flattery or by force, I don't know. Rand spares them no mercy. She doesn't. She goes on to say, money will not give you a moment or a penny's worth of joy. Then you will scream that money is evil, because it would not pinch hit for your self-respect. You see, you can't buy your way out of internal poverty. Money in the wrong hands becomes poison. It either reveals your virtue or magnifies rot. So maybe, just maybe, we've been all aiming at the wrong route. It's not money we fear, it's what money demands from us. Discipline, dignity, and a little bit of daring. Because Rand goes on to say that until and unless you discover that money is the root of all good, you ask for your own destruction. And I know that's hard to chew, right? Especially in a world where maybe sometimes corruption wears a little suit or what have you, where exploitation hides behind smiling brands and ethical veneers. But maybe that's not the fault of money. Maybe it's the fault of society that forgot how to make it ethically, intelligently, and more importantly, more honestly. She also goes on to say, when money ceases to be the tool by which men deal with one another, then men become the tool, or the tools rather, of men. Blood, whips, guns, and dollars, take your choice. So, today, don't run from money. Run from those who pervert it. Honor what you've earned. Defend what you've built. And above all, never apologize for the value born of virtue. And to the leader that you are, who's ever felt guilt, like myself, for putting a price on brilliance, perhaps, I see you. You don't owe the world your underpricing. Hear me. You owe it your integrity, your excellence, and yes, your damn invoice. Value isn't just something you hold, it's something you charge for. You see, money is not evil, misuse is. And in that quiet space of awareness, that is where we find not just wealth, but worth. But before we close, let me leave you with us and pause for a little and spare a moment to melt the concrete of the conditioned beliefs we all hold. Let's talk about money, not just as a currency, but a concept. Depending on who you ask, the dictionary will tell you money is a medium of exchange, a measure of value, and a store of wealth. In religious contexts, money is often warned about. The love of it is said to lead to temptation, corruption, or even spiritual ruin. Through a philosophical lens, money is an abstract agreement, a shared illusion we've all agreed at some point to believe in, one that gives shape to ambition but can also breed inequality. Ask a Gen Z, they'll tell you money's freedom, money's options, money's passive income, perhaps a scam or both. And again, through spiritual lenses, others might call it money is an energetic extension of the soul, a reflection of where your values lie, what you believe you're worthy of, what you're willing to receive. And from a humanistic view, money is an enabler, a mirror, maybe even a magnifier of both beauty and brutality. It is neither saint nor sinner. It simply amplifies the hands that hold it. And you? Which lens have you been looking through? When you say money, what do you really mean? Is it power? Is it danger? Is it something dirty? Or is it something divine waiting to be stewarded with wisdom by you? And this Tough Talk episode, I hope this is an unfiltered journey through your quiet and truths. Has your relationship with the meaning of money changed? I hope so. Do you still believe money is the root of all evil? Or have you simply seen it through a lens that has kept you small, quiet, and contained? Maybe the real question here is, what does your use of money say about you? And as you sit with that, I'll leave you with this. Money is a terrible master, but an excellent servant. And it was said by Banoon. Now, lead with heart, charge with courage, and make peace with the price of your becoming. And from me to you, it's goodbye. From Human Focus to your organization, it's goodbye for now until next week.